Member for North Sydney.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I just want to rise today to actually acknowledge there's a lot of people that are very deeply committed to this legislation and very deeply committed to moving us forward when it comes to environmental practices. And I never thought I would hear these words coming out of my mouth, but actually it seems to me that the amendment that the Nationals have moved here actually makes sense, and it actually does make this legislation stronger. As somebody who grew up out in northwest New South Wales, I'm very aware of the importance of the artesian water basin. And I do think, with respect to my colleagues from the other side of the House, this legislation has gotten better and better because the minister has been willing to listen to everyone in this process. The first draft of the legislation brought in had many of us concerned, and I think it has been the combined efforts of everyone and the minister's willingness to listen and engage that has meant we have gotten closer to a very excellent piece of legislation. Is it the best it can be? No, and I think the minister still knows that, and indeed she's acknowledging that today by standing and extending the offer to the Nationals to work with them when it comes to improving this legislation. And I guess I wanted to stand today just to say that should be the process with this legislation and every other piece of climate and environmental legislation that we intend to move through this place in the next 12 months to 2 years to 3 years, because we will never get it right the first time. And if we adopt the attitude that we are getting it right the first time, we will be failing our communities. So I commend the Nationals for identifying this as an opportunity to improve this legislation. I do support its movement in the House and encourage the minister and her team to continue to explore adopting it, because ultimately we must be united. We must move beyond bipartisan politics and party politicking if we are going to create sustainable change in our environmental laws. So thank you.
The question is that the amendments moved by the member for Marinara